Talk to us about your childhood and growing up in Dublin.
Yeah, you know, I just had a normal upbringing, like most young boys. You know, there's two things that were important: could you play football and could you fight? They're the two questions that were important where I came from. You know, so I started off playing football, and like most young boys, I dreamt of being a footballer. I used to run around on a pitch on my own, you know, kicking the ball against the wall, and running off, celebrating, dreaming of one day playing for a football team, you know. But as I got a little bit older and I started to venture outside of my little comfort zone, the estate I lived in or whatever, you start getting into fights, you know. When you're a young boy, you get into fights. So I said, you know what, football's for women. I think I want to be able to defend myself properly now. So I left the football behind and took up fighting. So it's a normal upbringing I had from where I am from.
A couple of lovely quotes from your dad about you growing up. And you say you were born a fighter. The midwife told your mum, Margaret, that you actually were born with your fists clenched. Is that right?
Yeah. My mum always says that I came out.
Angelic,
I haven't got my fists up there. Yeah, you didn't tell me that one. Yeah, I came out with my
What an
fists
angel!
up, yeah.
What an angel!
You think
look at that. Has your mum still
I'm
got?
wearing something similar.
Has your mum still got the bowl or not? I mean,
yeah.
There's another thing that.
You obviously didn't have a bowl for your big.
No, exactly. German helmet.
Yeah.
Another thing your dad said, that you were a quiet boy growing up, but you were always the leader of the pack. Can you tell us about that time? Because you've told me other times how rough areas of Crumlin were as well.
Yeah, I don't know, I was quiet in some situations and I was loud in other situations, like most people. Sometimes you're shy, sometimes you're not. Crumlin it's a good area. It's a place I grew up in. All my friends are there. I love Crumlin. I love where I came from, and I'm proud of the area I came from, and that's it. It was a normal upbringing for me.
But the boxing club was the place that first grabbed your attention there, wasn't it?
Well, actually, it was a kickboxing club. I started doing some kickboxing. Ultimately, I was getting my ass whooped in situations. So I used to analyse them, you know, whereas people might just forget about it and just go on with their day. Some boys would. It's stuck in my head. What way should I have moved there? What way should I have reacted there? And it took up all my time. So I started going to different gyms. I started trying to learn different ways to attack and to defend myself in these situations. And that was that. I began with some kickboxing, then Crumlin Boxing Clubs, where I really started to learn some of the fundamentals that still stick with me today. And that was it. Just carry on, trying to be able to whoop everybody's ass and not get my ass whooped. And that's that.
And then Father Trevor, he moves you out of that area, and at 17 you change schools and you meet Tom Egan, don't you?
Yeah, Father Tony, yeah.
Father Tony, sorry.
No. Father Tony, my dad sounds like a priest.
Father Tony.
He's far from a priest, that man, yeah. What were we saying? Yeah, we moved.
Yeah,
when
you met Tom Egan, your new school.
Yeah, when I was about 17, I moved from Crumlin to Lucan, like more of a country kind of town. Well, it felt like the country at the time. I felt like I was in the back arse of nowhere. So, but at the time I hated it. You know what I mean? I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm not making all my friends. I'm not. You're at an age where you're not going to go and start meeting new people. You know what I mean? So I just always used to, and plus the boxing gym was up there, and I'd always travel down. But ultimately, it was a blessing in disguise because I met Tom Egan, as you said, when I moved school, and Tom was doing jiu-jitsu at the time. And then we started talking. The Ultimate Fighter, I believe, was on number 1. The Ultimate Fighter 1, and it was all on Bravo at that TV station. So we started talking about it every day, and then I'd go up to his house and train. He'd show me some jiu-jitsu moves, I'd show him some boxing moves, and then we'd basically punch the head off each other at the end of it. And we just having fun, 2 kids having fun, you know what I mean?
And here you are, look. 16, you meet Chuck Liddell.
That's me with the Iceman, yeah. I said to him, I put my hand out, I said, throw a right hook at that hand. He didn't throw a right hook, but no, Chuck's the man. Chuck was probably the first star for me, you know, the first guy that I looked at and said, I think I want to do this, you know what I mean? And I pursued it, and luckily enough, I was honoured to meet him, and he was at the Dublin fight as well. I actually didn't get to meet him at the Dublin fight. I was really upset over that because in my head going out there, I said, this is going to be a good fight, you know, I want to hear what Chuck has to say. You know, after the fight, I wanted to go and talk to him, you know what I mean? But I didn't get to, but I'm sure I'll get to bump into him again in the near future.